Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of A Drink with
Mary
and Mina.
Today I've got H2O, hydrating myself through and through, and she's dehydrating herself through and through.
Through and through.
With some alcohol. Have you tried Copperbag's Tropical One? It's a new flavor.
Oh, okay, not the new one. I think I've tried the fruity one, like passion fruit or something.
Yeah. It's quite nice. Actually, it might be the same because they do have passion fruit. Mixed berries. Fruit. You had mixed berries.
No, there's another one, peachy one.
Peachy one? Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm not that into ciders. So
looking forward to this. Oh, sorry. Cheers. I'm gonna take a good nap after this with the help of this one. Then.
Well, she's got work tonight, so that's long. And we're currently at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. So anyway, moving on. The topic of today is wedding seasons.
The difficulty of having two languages.
The difficulty of having two languages. Yes, exactly. Wedding seasons. I've been to one too many weddings this year. I've got one this weekend. As you're listening to it, I've probably already been. So I think that's the final wedding.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're calling so far. Because I think December is monk season. That's like wedding season again. I know winter.
Oh, I think so.
But as far as I know, no one's getting married. No one's proposed to nobody. No one's engaged. No one's,
And don't worry. In Nepalese society, you never know who might just get married tomorrow.
And that is true. So far, the next weekend is the last wedding season. So I can just commence that the wedding season is over. Because the summer is over, basically, for some people. Oh my God, it's been hectic. Have you been to any weddings this year?
Just my friends, I guess, this year.
Oh yeah, some people got married. Yeah,
just one of my best friends, and I'm not really a wedding attender, I guess, unless it's like close friends. I don't really go to weddings of relatives. I mean, to be honest, not in touch with a lot of relatives, so I don't really.
Neither do I. I don't go to weddings to like a lot of relatives either. But this year, one of my cousins got married, and one of our closest friends got married, so it's a bit of chaos.
It's been a hectic wedding year for you, no?
I know. I can't do events. That just drains me out, So wedding, and then plus my friend, she decided to, because she has low battery like I do, so she's decided to do mini events through the month. That was even worse, I think, because you had to get ready through the month. I'd rather get tired.
Do it quite often.
Yeah, I'd rather get tired one weekend and then just call it a day.
Oh.
I don't know. But it was an interracial wedding, so I wanted to talk about it because I've only attended Nepali wedding. That's about it, and I've attended Nepali and Indian wedding. But even then, you're sort of similar culture, you share similar, wedding styles, etc., Nita. So this was a Christian Nepalese wedding, and that was a shocker for me. I don't know how you guys do it, but yeah. So I went to this wedding, and it was just different to see the other side perspective. Because I guess in South Asian weddings, and especially Nepalese weddings, you submit to the husband a lot, when you're getting married.
In rituals?
Mm-hmm. In terms of rituals, I guess rituals, and they just say, oh, this is a cultural thing, Bhanira, that's the cover-up kind of thing. Whereas...
Yeah, I know, go ahead.
Yeah, whereas when I went to the interracial wedding, I've never seen a bride be, welcomed so much, when they say you're my daughter, but literally they say it, but do they mean it? Okay, as a how do I say, as a daughter-in-law, as a bride of the house, you're taught in a way that you should be behaving such a way, like very feminine type one thing. Whereas that environment was just, I wouldn't say crazy, but it was just very welcoming, and very like protective of the bride instead, regardless that their son, that he is the son of the house, right? They were like telling her, if he does anything, let us know. Like you're in. I'm not the older ones, and it's just like.
I mean, ulta one, they don't even say anything.
Yeah, it's like orga got sorry, or like if they come down to something happens, they'll be like, oh, it's because you're from the other house type and that to me was a bit of shocker, and in a nice way, of course. And I was like, yo, this is quite interesting.
I guess it comes from like with African culture, women are quite strong nita African culture ma, and I think they do have a good hold on their men, on their sons, especially women, because they are the most present. I mean, I don't know how true the stereotype is of fathers missing in the black community kind of thing, but I don't think I've seen much within my black friends. I've always seen black males being quite present in their children's life.
I think it depends where in just because you're black doesn't mean that as well. African men, they're very present, but if you're from Jamaica and if you're from that side of the black community, then the stereotype is quite common because they don't really like the idea of marriages. It's okay. So they are living together, they're everything, but they don't really like to commit as a marriage stuff. So it's not just us who've heard it, like, but it is a stereotype which has been like sort of, how do I say it, sort of proven over the years kind of thing,
especially in America, I think.
Yeah,
that's
so it is like, I can understand where people are coming from, but I mean their parents, I mean my friend's husband, he had a stepfather, and he is a white man, but regardless they were just so welcoming. And it was so interesting to see the cultures and stuff like that. Like everyone was dancing, everyone was lifting each other up. Like it was basically crazy, but in a good way. But I didn't want like a freaking 3-weekend long wedding, man. That's just too long for me.
Actually, I think I lied. I just remembered that I went to another wedding as well, of a close friend as well. But this was a Nepali marrying a Nepali, but the girl was from what our society considers lower caste. So so the family of the groom, more than family, I would say the parents of the groom were against the marriage, so they didn't attend.
Shit.
Yeah, so technically us and the boys, like his boys and his brother, were the janti, I guess, from the men's side. Bride side, they were like plenty of family members. They were very supportive. They were very friendly. But from the groom side, it was just us, like his friends were the family. The groom side, I guess. And it was it was my first, what do you call it? The proper mandap wedding.
Yeah.
I think it was a lot because we went to the temple, and then they had the whole mandap set up, and they did the whole payday and all that. And I was actually quite surprised, although it was very traditional, but the priest who was explaining things to the non-Nepalese people that were in there, and even to us, I was actually quite surprised at how much equality was encouraged. I guess the priest was a bit modern as well. So, I mean, there were aspects of, patriarchy in there, but also a lot was women, women centered as well. And even with Pera, like, the male leads first 3, I think, and then the female leads the last 4.
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that. And I did learn quite a lot about, my own religion, my parents' religion, and it was actually quite interesting. And I thought, this is quite nice.
Did you have that when the groom and bride, they're already like, done and stuff, so they sit down? Did the groom side and bride side did the tug of war?
Yeah.
I've never seen that before actually, and only when I went to my cousin's, his wife, basically she's proper Hindu, that's okay. Only, I mean, although my parents are proper Hindu, but my mom is proper Hindu, but no one's actually wedded that
In
close
that
enough to
religion,
see. I mean, it was probably her and my dad's wedding that was like very close, because when my mama got married, I think his wife was more on towards the Buddhist side, so they sort of like met in the middle, so they didn't really do the whole Sath Pera thing.
Yeah.
And it was quite interesting to see, because as a child you've never seen this Tahalke wedding before, no? Quite interesting, man. Quite dramatic as well. So long, like literally so long. It was a hot summer day. I think I hate summer weddings because it's just so hot. It was a hot summer day. We were outside. It was a nice golf course, whatever, but it's just too hot, man. And I can't imagine being the bride wearing like layers and layers of clothing and all that gold and jewelry and hair accessory, and then there's basically you're blocking all the wind. How do you survive?
God. And the thing is, I think most Nepalese wedding in the UK are like massive, you know? It's almost like a big fat wedding, a Greek wedding type of theme.
It's getting even massiver. Yesterday on Instagram story, I don't know who this person is, but they had an engagement party. So they had like a sort of marquee in the garden, yada whatever. It was I think my sister's one of her friends was attending the wedding, so we went. We were like, yo, this is intense. So the bride has like 3 outfit change in the engagement party, and then there's like a proper mirror wala welcome to our engagement, very nice venue. I'm not gonna lie, it's like a lavish venue. Last month fireworks, and this is just an engagement party. It's not a wedding.
This is Nepalese.
And we were just like, yeah, they got money to burn.
Some people have too much money, mate.
They got money to burn.
I mean, okay, it's your wedding. I'm not going to say anything. You do you. But was that much necessary? I mean, some of those, a little bit of that money could have gone to the less fortunate, I guess, in the community.
I don't know. I feel like wedding, understandable. I know. It's a one-time thing, but engagement party, bro, like, really? Do you know, like, it's a bit...
Even with wedding, it's like, it's, for me, I guess I have different priorities because I am more about memories than...
Then big fat wedding where half the people don't even know come through.
Exactly. So it's, I guess for them, their version of being memorable wedding is like being lavish. So I guess, it's not my money, it's yours, so you
go
do
for
it.
If
but
you want to.
I think for me, I would rather have nice small weddings, and both weddings that I went to this year were very small and intimate. It was like less than 50 guests, and it was actually more enjoyable for me because I've been to the big fat weddings, and I've also been to these 2 intimate weddings, and I've enjoyed these intimate weddings more than the big fat weddings, because what happens with big fat weddings is that you go in, you meet the bride and groom for one split second, and then the rest is just to eat and party and drink and all that, and there's no emotional attachment to celebrating the union of those people that you've come to celebrate with. You don't even see them for the rest of the evening. But for these 2 intimate weddings, it was really nice. Like, we were dancing with the groom and the bride. The groom and the bride had the time to go around the table, have a conversation, have a nice, decent, not like hi, hello conversation, but a nice, decent chat with, all the guests, like really appreciative of us taking time to come to their wedding. It's just something that's more personal, that's more intimate, that's more memorable than any other lavish things like a hatti coming at the entrance kind of thing.
Don't even get me started. Because obviously that Instagram, I mean, when you say social media doesn't affect you, it really does at the end of the day.
It does.
So I was like telling my friend, like, because that engagement was all over TikTok, and it suddenly came to my For You page, because me and my sister were thinking, should we perform in our cousin's wedding this weekend? We decided not to, because we were just like, oh, let's just cut the crap. Like, we'll probably have to work there, do you know?
Yeah.
Like, let's just save our energy.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I sent this to my friend, and she's like, I don't want this many people in my wedding. I do not want a wedding this big either. I mean, a nice venue would be really great, but I'd rather have like few intimate people, like whatever you said as well, okay? Yeah, but I'm really still on the I'm gonna elope sort of vibe. It's so expensive to do anything these days, man.
I know. But you know what's on the rise these days? The trend in the Nepalese
Destination
community.
wedding?
Yeah, destination wedding.
I saw a few
Damn it,
people.
people got to it before I did.
I mean, we did one like years ago.
Well, that's fine. I think... But to be honest, from what I've found out, destination wedding turns out to be actually cheaper.
Really?
Yeah. Because these destination weddings are happening in Europe, in cheaper countries than here, right? And you're not going to have to feed 500 guests. You're going to have to feed a small number of intimate guests. And that's already cheaper. And I did have a look at like wedding packages in Spain, right? And it's quite decent. Like
what would you do in a destination wedding? So imagine if you were to have a destination wedding, right?
Oof, yeah.
So what would you do? Like, would the guests pay for the flights? Would the guests pay for the hotel? Or are you going to include, like, hotel and food? So what would it be like?
If I could afford to pay for everything, I would. But I would have to be very rich for that, you know.
Of course, yeah.
So I think my thinking is, it would be nice for me to book a big villa with, like, swimming pool, with like, and then have my intimate friends, about 20-30 people in the villa. And I guess we could have like a separate bride and a groom villa, and then have party in those until the wedding day. And then after the wedding day, we could just party in one place. And I don't know, I would have like really chill destination wedding. Like, I wouldn't allow older people in there. I would not allow our mamba generation in there.
What about your own parents though?
Nah.
They wouldn't come to your own wedding?
No, I mean, they can... I would much rather have a traditional wedding here with all the family members. Yeah. And then I would have one there. It wouldn't be a wedding, proper wedding, but it would be something very informal, like going down the aisle and reading some vows in front of your friends, you know?
So it's more like a white wedding.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. So, white wedding, manalini. Yeah, it's more like a... Okay, you know, this is our version of nuptials. This is my way of expressing my love and promising you that, you know, I mean, not that we need to promise that we're forever and ever.
I mean, you need a cringe crying moment there, like, what wedding is incomplete without it? I just need reason to cry for. I just cried at this wedding. But yeah, I think that vows and etc. are definitely needed.
Yeah.
And I very much like the idea of what you just pitched.
Do you?
No, because it gives me hope that it might be happening. No, but definitely, I mean, if I was a wedding guest, I know, or if I was the bride myself, I wouldn't necessarily expect the guest to pay for the hotel, say, but I would definitely expect them to pay for the flight at least, and maybe the wedding day and the day leading on to the wedding, like the wedding, pre-wedding, the wedding good day, might say I'll probably provide the food as well. But after that, it's kind of like,
that's a fair ask.
Yeah.
You know? Because I would rather want that to be like a mini getaway holiday for everybody.
Exactly.
And, you know, the wedding days or the party days, that's purely for the groom and the bride. Some of the cost should be covered. Yeah. As you do.
I feel like if you're gonna be able to like splurge that much money on a stag do, rather than doing that on a stag or a hen do, why wouldn't we just go out and then just have like a, you know, just just like a good memory, pure, like just love and
Yeah.
happiness and just like flowing memories like that. Yeah?
We were literally talking about it the other day, and Ranju was like, "Oh, I want you to have a beach wedding," and I was like, "That's something that I absolutely hate."
Beach.
As in on the beach, literally on the
Oh, yeah,
beach,
yeah.
and I'm like, "Excuse me, I won't be able to wear heels on the sand. My dress will be covered in sand. The wind that will be blowing sand all over my face, all over my makeup. Never
Yes.
mind, my boyfriend sweats buckets. Like, he's not gonna enjoy that."
Where would
Like,
you have it? I can imagine you doing like sort of like cliffside market, like it's still like a nice, like there's the marquee kind of at the end of the cliff or somewhere.
yeah, I would definitely want like a sunset wedding. No,
Oh, okay.
like a little sunset wedding where the guests are facing towards the sunset and we walk to the sunset.
cliff.
And
Yeah, there you go.
basically.
I got something right. No, that'd be really nice. And then after the
yeah.
wedding, you can just party, right?
You can just party for the
Oh
night.
my god. Drinking
It will be
buckets.
really, really nice. But yeah, I mean, but I think one thing that I've always wanted in my wedding is to have like a weed or shisha corner where
just
people
like
can
just
get
like a 420 corner. But by the way, guys, like if you've noticed this, like we've had a podcast in the past. I'll try to link it below. Where Mina Didi said, "I can't see myself getting married." This is a massive improvement.
Yeah, because I've already lost that argument with my boyfriend.
Yeah.
There's no point arguing about it now because one, he's a stubborn motherfucker. Two, it's at the end of the day, it's a party for me.
And plus, like he's your forever person anyway.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
if he wants it that bad, I'll go through with it.
Exactly.
As if I have to suffer. Yeah, like he's not asking me for an arm and a leg.
To be fair, you say this, but then I think the person who enjoyed the wedding the most is probably going to be you.
Mate, you know what it is. If I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. But if I do it, I'm going to do it to the full. So obviously, I'm going to be the one that will be having the most fun.
We need a big fat wedding. Like, I mean, not as in the sense like big fat wedding as a lot of guests, but big fat wedding in the sense that we need days of wedding, but just
multiple
having fun.
days.
Yeah.
I would rather have like a small. I would rather have like a small mehndi night with just girls in the house.
Oh, we have a mehndi artist in the house, by the way.
Oh, do you?
Funny.
Really?
She's starting to do bridal mehendis now. So she's trying to do my Your Weekend my cousin's mehndi.
Yeah.
I mean, she's very good at art, so I'm just trying to boost her to do it.
No, but the thing is, like, I don't want one of my friends to be laboring in my wedding
it's up
because
to
it
her,
takes
innit?
the fun
I mean, she
out
kind of
of her.
enjoys it. So.
If she wants to, then yeah.
Save the cost, mate. Just saying.
And I would have a mehndi night, like a very intimate mehndi night.
Right?
Yeah.
You want your friends to be there.
Yeah. And then it's almost like a night where you are just having fun around and joking around about your life and share memories that you've had with the girls.
Do you know Hindu is like a traditional mehndi night is a traditional Hindu, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Literally.
It is. Yeah, exactly. Mehndi night. I would have a Sangeet night where, in my actual wedding itself, I don't want the whole planned dancing, choreographed dancing and all that. I would rather have a dance off between groom side and bride side, but in a Sangeet night. I would rather have that where people are just in casual, like kurtas and, like not much big fucking bling bling type go. Just have that.
I think on my wedding, if I were to go traditional enough, I don't know if I would actually wear like a whole like bling outfit. I think I would be like very simple bride, like just basic. Comfort is key to me, so I don't care if I look like the plainest bride ever, as long as I'm comfortable with that. But I'll probably just wear Crocs that day. Like, who knows? Probably won't even wear heels.
Maybe we will have a literal beach wedding with yours where everybody's in barefoot, like there's no shoes.
Bro, I am not doing a summer wedding. Are you mad? Of all the people meet, number one, I hate weddings. Number two, why would I do a beach wedding? I share the same sentiment as Dio's style. It's gonna be in December, guys. Like, I don't care if you're cold. Like, just that's your problem, not mine. It's my wedding. Okay, maybe not December, spring, maybe. Spring to the autumn. Like, at least... and
That's a decent...
Summer months, no, man. Otika is too hot.
Yeah.
Regardless of how big the venue, how nice the venue is, even if it's a golf course, it's going to be hot because there's no aircon on. And even if it's like indoors, the aircon is on. But UK's houses are not built for that. So it's just going to be hot and sticky and your makeup's not going to last. That's my point.
I think I want either a end of spring, start of summer wedding or like a end of summer, start of autumn.
Or start of autumn. But wedding highlight, what do you look forward in wedding? To me, is the food. Has to be on point.
Yeah, I think food is good. Music, I would say. Company, the most important.
Yeah, that's true.
Company. And I don't know, not much because I haven't really thought of wedding day and all that neither properly.
Would you have like a champagne tower?
I mean, how long is that gonna last?
I mean, if you're just like, because you said like destination wedding, my intimate friends, you know, I mean that'd be quite cool. What else would you have? I think I would have a chocolate fountain.
Obviously, chocolate fountain is gonna be there, especially after people get stoned.
That is true. Chocolate fountain and just like put a whole cake or wedge and then.
I want my wedding to have like a buffet platter. Like, you know,
I don't think
eat whenever you want to eat. Don't have like a specific timing. Okay, khana khulyo, okay, khana banda bhayo timing. Just keep it coming all night.
I feel like on the buffet food there should be like some cold antipasties here. Like we don't have that Nepali food. Everything's hot nita. So some cold food, like even if the buffet kind of is closed, like that cold food can still be eaten whenever you want. Like a peckish snack khage. Sometimes there isn't anything to like, you know, just eat on. Like some olives, some nuts, you know, like just kata stuff.
Like something to snack on.
Yeah, like when you're drinking, like you just want like some snacks. Like, you
want a full-blown meal.
I think that would be really good. Like, take notes, man, if you're like bride and groom planning it. Like you don't have 10,000 things to think of.
Exactly. Have some snacks apart from the main meal. You know? Because sometimes people don't get their own time and that hungry as well, and the food's finished. And also I absolutely hate table service. I'm really sorry to say. I think it's going to be an unpopular opinion. I think Nepali wedding ma chai they think table service is like better than people going to the buffet and all that, you know, to the food. I think, you know, you're sat on the table, food comes to you, you're passing that food around between how many people, and then if the food finishes in one plate, you have to wave at the waiter to bring another one. Yeah. Like, I don't want to be hassled.
I think Nepali wedding mate definitely buffet is better. Unless if you want to do table service, if I can pick my meal, and then they're gonna bring it, serve it to me like that, then fair enough.
I mean, I would definitely, at a destination wedding, I would have like a sit-down meal where everybody chooses their menu beforehand and it has like a 3-course meal. And then after that, then we would move to a party destination party place where you would have like snacks lying around, alcohol, free-flowing alcohol, people taking clothes off, or even getting into the pool with their clothes on, like, you know.
Sounds like the villa is happening, guys. The villa should have like a massive beer tap. You know, like massive ones.
Where people are chugging beer upside down.
No, like why use a glass, right? Be extra. Just dispose the tap in the mouth.
But I definitely can see, you know, my girls and his boys having the best time of their lives. Because
but then your girls were like, Osti, we had a dinner recently.
My girls, man, you know, even within my girls, we have our girls who don't like partying. They can go to bed early if they want to. And you know, you, Ranju, Funny, you guys are gonna have the time of your life.
I think us three are the most tolerable ones. Like we are more likely to make the best out of the situation. But to be honest, I think Bundi Didi might join us as well. Namita Didi.
Yeah, obviously she's gonna be there climbing on top of I don't know what.
I feel like she'll join. I actually haven't been drunk with her ever yet. That'd be quite interesting.
But I think, you know, in terms of banter, like there's gonna be
Clashes.
like equal amount of banter
Thrashing.
from both sides.
Thrashing.
Thrashing.
No, the girls have already said it. Okay, we're not gonna stay in the same villa because we don't like them. Body security. Did you know whose impression I made?
Yeah. They will have a room in the corner of the villa away from the party. They can go sleep. I mean, to be honest, the one that you're on about might actually have fun.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. She will.
She will.
I feel like because when it's just a normal party and when it's your friend's wedding, it's a different sentiment. Okay.
Yeah.
Because friend's wedding, come on, it's not gonna come back again.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's gonna be another friend, but it's not gonna be the same person. I mean, unless they decide to marry like 4 or 5 times, like, come on, that's a bit stupid. But you know. I believe like marriage should be just done once. I mean, if it's unlucky, then it's very unfortunate. You can't really say anything to that. But you should go with the intention. I mean, everyone does, I think. But some people are married for 2 years and then they're gone again.
Yeah, marriage and wedding these days sometimes are taken very lightly. Very lightly. Honestly, they have this whole, you know, dream about getting proposed to, you know, having an engagement, like wedding. But when it comes to fixing your issues,
commitment
and committing towards each other, like people should in a marriage, there's not much. I mean, obviously, I'm not talking about tolerating domestic abuse or stuff like that. I think people these days are sometimes can go a bit too much on the other extreme of self-care.
I feel, and adding on to that, I feel like people are scared of cleaning up. Okay? So within the relationship, there was this video that I saw. It's like a fish tank analogy. Okay? So when you're in a fish tank, the fish tank is toxic. You go out on another tank for a holiday and you come back, but technically you're still in the same fish tank neither. So if you maintain the fish tank and clean the fish tank, you never really have to, I mean, look elsewhere. So you can technically go to another fish tank, have a holiday and come back, and your fish tank is still the same fish tank where you call it home. So it's not a toxic environment.
Exactly.
So I feel like a lot of people like to just show it but not actually work on the relationship. And then everything is like very therapy. Let's fix on her. It doesn't, bro. Like, you need to put therapy.
It's the attitude of the person and their willingness to change and work together that changes things. You know, I see people tolerating shit that they should not be tolerating. And then sometimes I see people like walking away from situations where, you know, that was like a pretty fixable thing.
I think in my past relationships, right, I've been the walker. I've been the walking out person because I'm not that kind of person that really confronts situations. And if it gets too much, I was a very toxic person, now that I think of it. It took a very long, and hence I'm still single because I do not think I'm ready to give it my all to anyone. Okay, I still have so much things that I have to fix. I know, but if someone likes this part, then yeah, go ahead. You know, I would like to be I always strive to be a better version of myself emotionally because I'm such an emotional person. So I would never like confront what happened one day. I'm just like, yeah, whatever, attitude and deep rooting down to it, you learned it from your like surroundings. And it wasn't until like I was seeing this person, you know, online dating, you did whatever, and then the person was like, that's actually very toxic, no one actually said it that was very toxic to me because everyone around me was very used to this upbringing. So when that person pointed out to me, I was like, snap, like, Mary, you really need to look back. This is actually, yes, very toxic. Like, if a guy did that to you, you wouldn't take it. So why are you expecting this person to take it? So thank you, by the way. I really appreciate when people call me out the city. So
and the thing is,
oh, sorry, it's giving me like electric shock on my
boobies.
Okay, they hear like
maybe your new sex toy.
It's a bit dry down there. We won't talk about it.
It also takes acknowledgement on your part to see it as toxic, though. If you don't see it as toxic, then that's the end of the conversation.
That's the
there.
end of the no, definitely, because I could have been like very much adamant about it. Well, you're toxic because that was your approach. Like you saw it that way. You're not accepting me the way I am. And you could say, you could go on about that, but I realize it is toxic because if someone else was do that to me or even one of my friends, I'm like, oh, chode, plenty of fish in the sea. My first dialogue there. And then now that I think of it, like sometimes you don't need to leave the situation. Sometimes it's just fixing it, I guess.
Yeah. My I was toxic in a way that if I, even for a slight moment, if I did not get what I deserved, what I thought I deserved, I was the person that would isolate myself. You know,
do you know what? Like, I've seen few episodes of you doing that.
Yeah. I do. I used to, and Alini, it's gone down by a lot that I isolate myself because I just think it comes from a history of being let down a bit too much. Okay? And you think, you know what? It's just, and also the belief that if something's going right, it's almost like a belief that, okay, something's wrong. You know, everything's going right, so that's wrong.
So much, okay? We self-sabotage from, like, every time, even like, I'm not dating anyone, by the way, because I'm done with this shit. We need to do a podcast on dating apps. Like, I need someone to rant with, because Didi can't relate, obviously. So, anyhow, like, where was I going?
Toxic.
So, toxic traits about self-sabotaging, right? So, you meet this person profile matches, you match. You're going on wave to wave to wave to wave. Okay, on your first date boy, or second date boy, and you're like, wow, this is actually going somewhere. And then you're like, third date boy, and then on the third date, I'm always going with the intention, like, okay, what's wrong with you then, mister? So it's not gonna work. Like, if you're already manifesting the wrongdoings there, no, but you can't help it because that's just how you operate. Okay,
it's so okay. When you've had so many bad things happen to you, you almost feel like the goodness is too good to be true. And you don't deserve this type.
Exactly.
Okay. What also happens is that once you are so used to going through dramas, you kind of become addicted to it.
Nah, man, you're the biggest drama queen. Like, honestly, she is so addicted to it. Like, we actually called her out so many times. She just wants drama. Okay? Nice night out, white rounds, eh? Something switches on and she's like, bah, 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 bah.
Sometimes I just want drama. Sometimes the traumas do surface a little bit.
I think when you have had alcohol, I think it's a bit prominent topic. Yeah, well, the cases I've seen anyway. I don't know about what happens between you and Devasta's intimate moments and stuff like that.
Don't ask. Like last this gone night out as well. Just he took the piss, man. And then next day, in the past I would have isolated myself, but next day I went over to his and I was like, come up to the room, we need to have a chat. So we sat down on the bed and we had a chat, and he literally had nothing to say. Like, his behavior was just fucking dickheadery behavior. He had nothing to say, and I was like, why? And then he was like, I don't know why I did that. I even showed him the video of his behavior and he couldn't even watch it. Like, he couldn't watch himself embarrassing himself. Okay. And I'm like, you were this last night. And he was like, no, stop that. I've seen enough. And I'm like, okay then.
I love how you vlog everything and then it's just like evidence.
Oh no, I was actually filming the artist. And then I just noticed that at the bottom of the frame there's him behaving.
Was that the
like
story, mom? What you put?
No, not the story in my own video. Yeah. And it was just literally down there, and I'm like, I mean, come on. He was one of the things that he did was he was lifting like strange girls, right? He was lifting girls who were strangers to him, yeah. And I'm like, I told him that's assault. You're literally grabbing girls who don't want to be grabbed.
To be like,
no, it's not laughing matter. Imagine it, no. If you're having a good time with the girls and some random drunk guy just comes and grabs you and hurls you, how would you feel?
No, not nice. Thora, when we had drinks in the Weatherspoon Hostel, like literally 2 weeks ago, okay?
Yeah.
And we asked Ronji Didi asked Diwastai, why do you keep lifting everyone up? He literally had no one to do that either.
Yeah.
He really needs to stop that, to be fair. I mean, I'm not going to, yeah. But random.
Like, even with you guys, like, if you don't want to be lifted, why are you still doing it?
I mean, we say it's Diwastai, but we just laugh it off. I know. But if it was someone who actually minded.
Oh, by the way, something juicy. While Divas was going around lifting strangers, I would say I got inappropriately touched. Usually it's a man, and in a club. This time it was a girl, and I was not expecting it. I'll tell you her name after this. After this, yeah, you know her. When this recording stops, I will tell you who is. It's literally, I was so surprised. I hadn't seen her for a long time, and I was so glad that I saw her. And we were like sitting up there, and then the next thing I know, sometimes my boob is getting grabbed, and then the next thing I know, she's biting my earlobe.
Yo, this is next level. I thought it was just like bumped grab.
No, and then she put her tongue inside my ear, mate. I was like, that's it, I'm leaving.
Do you know, that's my biggest ache. I love how everything that happens to me sort of connects to the podcast. Okay? Like, literally 2 days ago, it was my friend's house party, my barbecue. Friend's house, he had a barbecue, no? We were just talking about earlobe licking inside. Okay? Like, I find that so disgusting. Yeah. I'm just like, I have to be so conscious, like, if I wax my ear or not.
I don't care. My earwax can be dirty. They can lick my ear as they can eat it. But I just doesn't feel comfortable with that.
Disgusting.
And then, like, those things, I kind of ignored it. I was like stepping away. And then at certain points, she would just grab me and like dig her nails. Yeah.
Bro, sis was sexually frustrated,
and I was like, what is wrong with you? Like, are you so unhappy in your life? And this is, somebody, like, I know her husband. And she has a child, and I'm like, mate, like, at what point did you decide to be bisexual?
Maybe she always was, but she was just not in it.
Yeah.
Like, the closest that I've got is when I went to pub crawl in Waterloo, by the way. Amazing place. There's a lot of pubs. Pub crawl in Waterloo, I was in the queue, and then I was on a date, actually. It was my turn to buy drinks because, we like to do 50s, halfsies, whatever. So I was like, I'll get this round. So the person said, wait, got it at the table. Man, and then I went to the bar, and then you were just ordering drinks, and then this, because I had short hair, by the way. So when you have short hair, you get looks thinking you're bi. Literally, yeah, you get questioned.
The bloody stereotype, man. Like, girls can have short hair.
I have to prove my sexuality there. Yeah, anyways, this girl just comes up to me, and then she's like, she's just like, it's okay.
Do it to the camera. Why are you doing it to me?
You having a good night? And I'm like, yeah, how are you? And I was like, yeah, how about you? You having a good night? She's like, yeah. So where are you from? And I'm like, I'm not from London, I'm from Farnborough. And she's like, oh, where's that? Like, literally eye contact, and I am so like, what the fuck?
You know that she's chatting you up.
Yeah. And getting very close and intimate and personal, like, I mean, not earlobe licking,
yeah,
very close. And I was just like, okay, this is getting uncomfortable. Can you just give me my drinks? I just want to shoot out. And then every time I have conversations with her, like, if you've noticed, like, I always talk and then want to eat out there, so I get distracted so quickly. Eh? Sis is like literally lock and it's hard. It's unlock on it. They say like, there's no unlock button here. There's the look or die. I'm literally like this. Unfortunately, like,
locked down.
I got my drinks and I was like, oh, nice meeting you, by the way, and I left. And then my date was like, oh, what took you so long? And I'm like, you want
you were there on a date.
I was on a date. And I was like, you won't believe I just got hit by a girl. And then my date was like proper laughing. I can't believe, like, I'm on a date with someone and some other woman's hitting you up one day. And I'm like, well, do better then.
honestly, like, some, like, unwanted sexual attention, man. Like, I don't want it. I don't want it from a man. I don't want it from a woman. Like, I'm not there for that. Like, leave me alone.
Bro, this is juicy stuff. But where were we? We were at weddings. How did we go from weddings to... Okay, drunk behaviors, exactly, right?
Yeah.
Wedding my drunk behaviors, though, oh my god.
Like, honestly, कुकुरको झोल खान नपास्तरी खान्छ यार.
Literally, like, have you... Okay, basically, if you're like Nepalese, you have had a community wedding. You have attended a community wedding at one point. Like, you know, community hall wedding. Okay, like, come on. So... I mean, if you're behind the bar, like, serving drinks, like, it's just like, you know, Boston or type, okay? Bro, like, okay, so this is the glass, yeah? Okay, that's a more realistic glass. Etro whiskey ale, mama ale. And then...
Half of it.
Half the glass whiskey. And then they don't do cheap whiskeys in events like that. You know, they like to show. They're like double black or black, whatever. Or like famous crews, like what badges are a drink, you know?
Yeah.
Half glass, you know? 2 conversations down his hall for a refill. Okay? I'm like, bro,
take the
how
bottle.
is your liver not dead yet? Just take the bottle, okay?
I can't be pouring you drinks.
Exactly.
Like, who do you think I am? I can't be pouring you drinks every 2 seconds.
This is why, like, Nepali people have no budget when they're going out drinking, yeah.
I mean, the fact that it's open bar.
But we have made good use of open bars as well. But this obvious to gore छैन नि.
सस्तो के माल रस्तमै खाए यस्तरी oh my days. Like, कुकुर जसरी खान्छ अनि कुकुर जस्तो ताल पनि देखाउँछ क्या.
I can't wait to drink at this wedding.
After all that last one, the closing statement, I can't wait to drink.
I'll probably be driving, so I won't drink, so yeah.
Oh yeah, on top of that, I was the designated driver, so I was sober.
Yeah, it's
so imagine having to go through... Imagine finding a tongue in your ear. An unwanted tongue in your ear while I was sober. I'm like... अब अलि handsome केटा आएर गरेको भए नि okay. I would be like... ठिकै छ bro. Like, I have a boyfriend, please walk away भन्नु हुँदैन.
I think my issue is, right? Like,
the shock क्या? I was like, did it just happen? The shock.
Plus, like, as a straight woman, you don't expect that, Nita. Like,
I know I'm a tomboy, but do I give the vibe that I'm bisexual or
no,
like of any other?
Like, apparently you do. When you're like very confident woman with short hair, you're bi. You're lesbian even. No, that's so fucking weird. I've never had. You stayed there until some way.
No, I walked away. I walked away and I was like in the middle of the dance floor on my own because my boyfriend is like, I don't know, nowhere to be found. And then who I met, mero satiko baini, who had also been abandoned by her friend and was just with strangers chatting in the toilet. So I found her and those 2 abandoned girls went and drank. I drank lemonade. She drank bichara vodka.
Pizza. You get abandoned a lot when you're clubbing. I can't. I think in clubbing settings, I'm such a... I don't need anyone kind of person. Like, I usually just zone out. If I'm like jab to the point that, you know, you're almost crawling. More weird. The DJ could be throwing whatever lights and all that. Whatever. It could be happening. You know? My vision for the night is this. So literally, if you see me just doing this, then you know this girl is like
gone.
She's like, okay, we need to take her on the stage, man.
Oh my god,
bro.
So funny, man.
The time is eye contact like no radius. Ass grab going on and okay, let's not bother. She's a bit crazy. She looks a bit psycho.
Oh my
Anyhow, this is getting out of context. I think we've said what we wanted to say about this whole wedding shenanigans, and we've basically know what kind of wedding Mina Didi is gonna have in the future. I take notes.
He's gonna do what he's gonna do anyway. What's the point of giving him notes?
I think you should take over the destination side, and he can do the traditional side, whatever.
you should take over the distance side, no? Kam गर्ने कालु मकै खाने भालु हाम्रो relationship, हैन? Like I do everything. He just turns up. That's his. He wants to have a big fat wedding, but in the end, I am the one organizing it. I'm the planning it. He just turns up. That's it. That's his job. That's his job. Wanting it and turning up. That's his job.
Wanting it and getting it.
Yeah, wanting it and getting it. That's his job.
The rest, I thought usually it's the bride who does it. It's so chaotic.
Because men have most men have no clue. They can't tell from white to cream to you know, the even the color scheme. If we left the wedding planning to the men,
you know what there would be? Beer barrels.
Hawaiian t-shirt.
Beer barrels. No dress code. Only just like a space soon. They would hire like they would think of the space sound systems. Definitely.
I mean, imagine if this was planned there. Like, I had to turn the car around the other day because he was coming to dinner in Crocs. You know, right? I told you guys at the restaurant.
I'm not complaining.
Then not it's the Crocs one in a bright green frog green Crocs. I'm like, just turned him around. Okay, go back in there, put some shoes on.
If it's Nando's or anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded that. Yeah. But we're going to, like, you know, appropriately. I don't want him to dress up in a fashionista way. Just appropriate, you know.
You would definitely love a Hawaiian wedding that they was like an aloha shirt. He could come in his Crocs, and then you could do the dance.
And then the clothes will be off by the middle of the day.
Yeah. Half short button off is the turkey breast is the okay, we just shamed him enough. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed the podcast. It's just a bit random, casual wedding season. This is the end of Bridgerton season.
Bridgerton what?
My little season. Hope you had a good one, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.